A little follow-up. Brian asks in the Discord chat, will Safari integrate those features with the new Safari Gemini partnership? And the comment I have on that is, Dave, you're saying I'll never use a non-agentic browser ever again.
Correct.
I will postulate very, very quickly we will not be using browsers ever again as we know them. Like we're talking about an integrated browser with the agentic AI.
Yeah.
It's what Apple is doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be doing. It's going to integrate into your operating system, and you're just going to interact with your operating system, and it's going to do all this stuff for you. And I only mention that because, like it's invading every aspect of our lives, this agentic stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be all over the place, but you're going to be running agents natively. And that's why, Apple and you're going to see all these people doing these partnerships.
Yep.
That's where my concerns come though, because just like you were saying, like I need to switch to Android now because this isn't available or that isn't available. It's going to get worse when we start seeing these companies partner and silo. And we know Apple is historically very bad at this, where, they're going to do Gemini. And if we don't like Gemini, too bad.
Right. Right. Well, that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Apple needs to choose wisely here.
Yeah. Fair statement.
Right. Like that's it.
And they've historically not been good with this AI stuff yet. So
no, they don't. Well,
I'm wondering if that's on purpose, though.
Well, I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's a byproduct of a very expected byproduct of Apple's commitment to privacy. AI is not private. Like, I mean, I know that it could be, and people say that it is, and there's the terms of service that say they don't use your data, and I know that they don't. But by nature of using it, my data is going to someone else's computer that I don't control. And that's a choice that I make, and I do it eyes wide open, and we talk about this enough on the show that hopefully everybody who listens can make that choice in an informed way. And I don't judge people for either side of this choice, by the way. I get it. But I think that's why this is fundamentally incompatible with Apple's ethos. And they've been trying to fit this square peg in a round hole for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they need to shave down the edges of the peg and fit it in the round hole.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe there's another way.
Well, or maybe they just are fine again. Historically, I mean, it's not going to be great for their shareholders and stuff like that potentially. But I mean, how many years did we live being the, 2% or 3% of the market? So
fair.
There is going to be still a good chunk of the market that values that kind of privacy and restrictions, and maybe they're willing for the trade-off, and maybe they're willing to. That's our slice of the pie. Yeah. I don't think that's the case, but I'm sure they would like financially to have a much larger chunk of the pie. But if they make those decisions, that's the decisions they make.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm eager. I mean, clearly already we're seeing some of the edges of this square peg being shaved, right? Like with this, the way, the questions about the way that Gemini is going to be integrated into whatever Apple does next and that path. Apple initially implied that this would be like a white labeled version of Gemini, which I think it will be, running on Apple's private cloud infrastructure. And now, like what Google is saying is it's going to be running on our private cloud infrastructure because they don't have the right infrastructure. Their infrastructure is not built for this. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I can say that the best engine running, or a great engine, saying which one is best right now is really difficult because they change every day. A great LLM running on the wrong hardware is less useful than not even using the LLM. Right? Like if it's too slow, or if the scope can't hold enough in memory to be useful to you, then it's not going to be useful to you. So it's interesting. I've been really liking Claude. I like of the four major ones: Gemini, Claude, OpenAI / ChatGPT, and Perplexity. I really like what Claude is doing best at the moment. I like their model. I like that it's easy. If you need more credits, you can just pay for them. You don't have to change plans. And they have Opus for programming, or really anything else. Opus 4.5 at the beginning of last week was the gold standard. It's like 3 times as fast as anything else. And then on Thursday night, Opus 4.6 came out, which has 1 million tokens, which I think is 4 times the token memory. So that it enhances the scope in a huge, huge way. So anyway, things are changing for sure. Yep. And I encourage all of you, even if you know you're not going to integrate AI into your lives, I encourage all of you to download, either Comet or Atlas and just experience something we've talked about here. Just so you know what you're missing, so you can make the decision, eyes wide open. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Adam, you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be just interacting with your operating system as opposed to the passive reading a web page type. It's working for you. Yeah. So
there is something right now that exists, and I actually had it on the cool stuff found list from MacPaw, and it's called Eney, Eney, and it's going to try and play a video on my computer here. Great, love that. Yeah,
let's all sit and watch.
Yeah, sit and watch. It is part of SetApp, but what it is it's a little assistant that sits on your computer and integrates with your operating system as much as an app could, right? And it's all running locally. It can do your transcriptions. It can, it knows about every app in SetApp. So when you say, hey, I want to, edit a picture, it can be like, all right, great. Here's how you're going to do that. And it walks you through the process. You want to connect to your VPN, it can do things like that. So you can even do it with the SetApp trial. You can go get a trial for SetApp and try out Eney. And it's an interesting concept. It gives us a taste of what it could be like with this fully integrated into the foundation of the OS. So that's my, I snuck another cool stuff found in there, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I tried to get us back on track. Are we back on track?